Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, November 15th.
Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. 41 degrees. Do you sleep with the heater on?
Of course.
You do?
And blankets.
Okay,
and
so
everything.
I don't like the heater on my face all night, on your throat.
Yeah, it does.
So I absolutely refuse to turn it on. And this morning I got up.
It's so cold.
It was like 64 degrees in my house, but I have 3 fuzzy blankets and I have 2 dogs next to me and a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
You would think that would be enough, but it's really cold.
Under the comforters, it's fine, but once you get out of the covers, oh my God, just in the morning, it was so cold.
That's when it's a problem.
I'm gonna turn the heater on.
A little bit.
I did the same thing for the first time this morning.
Oh, to turn it on, yeah.
Yeah, and then you get that weird smell. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
Change your filter.
It's a whole thing. But yes, it was cold this morning. We got down into the 30s. Right now we're sitting at 41 degrees. One thing that was beautiful, though, on this Tuesday, the sunrise. If you caught it, the sky was on fire this morning. High clouds coming through and you get those orange colors. And it was really, really beautiful. This picture comes out of Cibolo. And they're saying good morning from Cibolo. Good morning to you. And thank you for sending in that photo. Let's take a look at the weather headlines. We still got some of those high clouds drifting through it this hour. So the high clouds will be off and on today, but we'll see plenty of blue sky mixed in there as well. And you'll see really cool temperatures not only today, but through the entire week into the weekend. We're also going to take a look at the numbers when it comes to rainfall. Are we still on pace to be the driest year ever? We'll see where we stand there. It's going to be a close call. Meantime, 41 degrees outside. Just some high clouds at the moment. Dew point is at 29 and north-northeasterly winds at about 8 miles per hour. Pollen count, molds are low, juniper is low. So no big issues there. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 46 degrees at 10 o'clock, 48, 11 o'clock, 52 noontime. And we'll top out at about 57 this afternoon. So not warm, but not cool either. Somewhere in the middle. We'll call it mild. And then some clouds coming in tonight with temperatures slipping back down into the 40s. Okay, we've had some issues on the roadways just here within the last hour or so. RJ is here with the latest on that.
Yeah, Justin, you called it. Throughout the entire morning, it was pretty relaxed, easy going, and then within the past 30 minutes or so, we've gotten reports of several accidents out on the major highways across San Antonio. So this is the one I've been following for the past 20 minutes or so. This out on the far northeast side, I-35 at 1604 in the Live Oak area, the Forum area, and we'll take a closer look here with our maps. This is 1604 eastbound at Lookout Road. You can see traffic has been backed up all the way to Nacogdoches Road there as crews continue to work on that accident there. Again, 1604 eastbound at Lookout Road on the northeast side near Forum Live Oak. So let's take a look at this other wreck that's taking place on the near northwest side. This is the eastbound lanes of 410 at Vance Jackson. You can see it's even causing some traffic buildup there on 10 as crews or as drivers, commuters kind of go through that I-10, 410 interchange. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out on this morning. And let's go now to the northwest side, and this is one that just kind of developed over the past 15 minutes or so. Actually, TransGuide just got off the phone with them, and apparently this is a pretty significant backup, 25-minute delay. This is Loop 1604 westbound at Kyle Seal Parkway, and I'm going to go back to TransGuide real quick and show you, we have that camera up there, 1604 at Kyle Seal. You can see traffic really at a crawl in that area. Again, this is the westbound lane 1604 at Kyle Seal, a 25-minute delay. So things have absolutely gotten very busy out there. Be careful if you are headed out on your Tuesday morning, and just stay safe and make sure to move to the side and let those crews take care of all of these accidents and wrecks taking place. Sarah and Stephanie, back to you.
Thank you, RJ. San Antonio police searching for the suspect in a shooting on the northeast side this morning. Around 5 a.m., officers responded to an apartment complex near I-35 north of Rittiman Road and found a man who had been shot in the stomach and forearm.
Police believe a fight may have happened in the apartment's complex's laundry room before the shooting happened. The man shot is expected to be okay.
And here's today's 9 at 9. Equipment found in the wreckage from the airshow crash in Dallas is being sent to experts for analysis. Investigators have an electric flight display and a GPS navigational unit from the planes. They may include information like location, altitude, and speeds of the aircraft, which may help determine what went wrong.
A former football player arrested in connection to the killing of 3 fellow students who were members of the University of Virginia football team. A motive is still unknown. The players were returning from a class trip when the suspect opened fire on the bus. University police say the student was already on their radar for bragging about having a gun.
Former President Donald Trump expected to announce his re-election campaign today, but calls are growing for him to delay the announcement due to the Georgia Senate runoff looming and the underperformance of Trump-backed candidates in the midterm elections.
The chances of a railroad strike have gone up after a third rail union rejected a tentative labor deal. A strike could happen early next month, and it would shut down a vital link in the nation's supply chain. Sticking points in negotiations have been things like staffing levels and paid sick time.
Interest rates still almost certain to go up again when the Federal Reserve meets next month, but maybe not quite as fast. The Fed Vice Chair spoke yesterday and indicated the Fed may be eyeing a half-point hike following 4 straight hikes of 3/4 of a point.
The national average price for a gallon of gas slid slightly ahead of Thanksgiving holiday. AAA says the price declined 5 cents in the past week to $3.75 a gallon. That's 14 cents less than a month ago and 34 cents more than it was a year ago. The average here in San Antonio is $3.03.
Another tech giant is looking at thousands of layoffs. The Wall Street Journal now says Amazon is preparing layoffs of up to 10,000 people that could start this week. They would primarily affect Amazon's devices business, which includes its Alexa products.
The United Nations projects a major milestone in human development. There will soon be 8 billion people on Earth. They predict the 8 billionth person will be born today. It took 12 years for the population to get from 7 billion to 8 billion, but population growth is slowing. The UN projects it will take 15 years to reach the 9 billion mark.
NASA says it's on track for the Artemis 1 mission to launch tomorrow in the overnight, early morning hours. Previous launches have been scrubbed because of bad weather and technical issues. This mission could pave the way for U.S. astronauts to return to the moon. And that's today's 9 at 9.
In your morning headlines, good news when it comes to fighting lung cancer. And if you would like a Subway sandwich, it might be easier to get one.
Plus, you can help Santa answer letters and a chance to own an iconic holiday house. David Steers is here with all of these stories. Good morning.
Think Christmas and houses you see in Christmas movies.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Ready?
Yep.
Have that for you in just a second. First, let's start with this. This is No Shave November, bringing awareness to cancer and reminding men to get tested. So how about some good news when it comes to cancer survival? It is getting better when it comes to lung cancer. According to a new study, over a 5-year span from 2014 to 2018, survival rates went from 21% to 25%. The study is the 2022 State of the Lung Cancer Report that was published by the American Lung Association. And even though positive numbers, the rate of survival is still low in communities of color. Overall cases fell 11% nationwide. The Preventative Services Task Force expanded its screening recommendations for lung cancer. If you smoke a pack a day for 20 years or 2 packs a day for 10 years, or if you currently smoke or quit over the last 15 years, they recommend screening. Subway thinking outside the box, or more like inside the box. They have gone to sandwich meals available in vending machines. The sandwiches are pre-made. There are chips and drinks you saw on the machines. The vending machines are going to go to college campuses, airports, hospitals. The machines have artificial intelligence that will accept the order verbally. Subway actually started selling pre-made sandwiches a couple of years ago in gas stations and airports and even casinos. It has been a way for Subway to kind of make up for losses in their brick and mortar stores. Although, think about this. The original concept of Subway, I thought, was to make a fresh sandwich right there in front of you so you could see them make the sandwich. And now they're going to stick a pre-made sandwich in a vending machine.
Well, will it be somewhat fresh, we hope?
Hope it's made that day.
In case the person forgets to change out the sandwiches, how are you going to know?
The date.
I don't know.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, but then you've already bought it. You can't see unless they show you the date, right?
Well, then it's just
Take some Pepto-Bismol.
And then this, cold cut sandwich comes popping out of the machine. It's 3 days old. I don't know.
We'll have to see.
I'm going into the Subway to see the sandwich being made. All right, this time of year, Santa's mailbox starts filling up pretty fast every day with kids all over the world sending Santa their wish list. So the post office is trying to help out Santa. They are looking for volunteers to look through letters to Santa, and when they find one that sparks a nerve or maybe an emotion, they can go buy the item and then send it to them anonymously. If you want to help Santa, you have to register on Operation Santa's website and then go through a identification verification process. And finally, you recognize that house back there? That is the house in Ohio that was used as the main setting for the 1983 classic A Christmas Story. It's open these days for tours and folks who can stay overnight. The house and a museum across the street are now part of a for sale deal. No price has been posted. The house sits on a little less than an acre and a half. Ralphie might be left out in the cold. That could be tough. I don't know. I guess it depends on the price.
I want to know, does the leg lamp come with the house?
Because we didn't recognize the house until we saw the lamp.
The lamp.
Yeah, the lamp.
The lamp.
But I would imagine that, you can make a deal for that too.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Throw that in.
For a price.
For a price.
Everything's negotiable.
Right.
And there's a remake this year, or not a remake.
Yeah, I think it comes out this week.
Yeah, another version of it.
Yeah, where Ralphie is
an adult.
An adult.
A sequel. Thank you, Alex.
Ralphie's an adult?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like trying to live up to his dad, trying to be like the dad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Ralphie can grow up.
Well.
That's the problem.
Everyone grows up. Thank you, David.
He was like, sure.
It's 9:09 and 41 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA at 9. City Council's second no confidence vote in a week against one of its members. Why they voted to revise its resolution regarding District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry and what some residents are saying about the decision. Plus.
Good morning, I'm Max Massey. We are here at the San Antonio Food Bank. They're preparing for the holidays, and there's a special program we're excited to tell you about in just a bit.
Thanksgiving just a couple weeks away, and the San Antonio Food Bank is working to help as many families as possible.
Max Massey joins us live from the food bank. And Max, how does it look out there?
Good morning, guys. It has been busy here throughout the morning. 'Tis the season, and take a look. This is one of the items they need the most. It is turkey. So joined here with Eric Cooper. So Eric, I'm going to put this down because it is freezing, but good for you holding it, really just showing off. So tell us about the donations that you guys have had so far and how much is needed.
Well, Max, our number one needed item is protein. And so during the year, it's feeding kids with peanut butter. It's now November. Thanksgiving's on its way. So frozen turkeys are what we need. We've collected about 20,000 already. Those are been given out to families. We need about 5,000 more of these frozen turkeys to be able to make sure no one goes without this Thanksgiving. And I tell you, there's another way folks can get involved. It is hunting season in Texas. And so our program, Hunters for the Hungry, is a great way for hunters to donate their deer. And that's a great lean protein that can help feed families. But right now, we're focused on turkeys.
This past few years have been extraordinarily tough for so many families. Right now, we're still going through inflation. You can put the turkey down. I can see your hands are a little cold there. So, when we talk about inflation, it's not only affecting families, but it's also affecting how you guys are able to help as many families.
Yeah, so many expense categories got hit. Housing, the worst, right? Rents went up, utilities went up. Families that are shopping for food, they saw an 8 to 10% increase on all categories, and so they leave the grocery store with less food in the grocery cart. For us, the most expensive Thanksgiving ever. I mean, turkeys are at a price point where for some families, they just couldn't afford it. And so to be able to provide this is huge, but you mentioned it, we're impacted. The price of fuel right now is high. We operate a lot of trucks, and so we're doing all that we can to make sure that families have enough. And I tell you, if you're in need of a turkey, please go to our website. There's several distributions you can register for, but if you have the ability to donate, the quickest and easiest way is through the same website. You can donate financially to buy a turkey. We have an incredible opportunity on Thanksgiving morning, our annual turkey trot. All the funds from the turkey trot go to help feed families. So come on, San Antonio, help us raise the number of turkeys we need to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Eric, thank you so much. And guys, like Eric was saying, the most expensive Thanksgiving to date. So if you can help out, we have all that information, KSAT.com. Sarah, Steph, back to you guys.
Thank you, Max. Hey, Steph actually signed up for the turkey trot.
Yes.
The commercial breaks this morning.
I am looking forward to it. It's a fun event and good cause there, the food bank.
Absolutely. Thank you, Max.
And taking a look outside with live cam, I know Some runners don't hope for this weather, but I'm hoping it'll be this cold on Turkey Trot morning. I guess we don't know yet, though, Justin.
This is like ideal, right? Because
Yes.
you want it dry and kind of cool.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see how it shapes up. You know, next week, as we're looking way into the future, it looks like it's going to stay cool. We can't guarantee that. It's a little too far out to say that with great certainty, but that's the way it's trending. I want to show you guys the numbers. We just updated this morning. Are we still the driest year on record? No. 1917 now moves into the lead. They had 9.36 inches at this point in 1917. We are at 9.51 after yesterday's meager rainfall. 1956, 1910, 1909 follow. But here's what I'll tell you. There was a pretty decent rain in 1917 on November 17th. So just in a few days, we'll retake the lead. All of this to say, it has been the driest, one of the driest years on record, and this trend looks to continue. We do not have a lot of rain in the forecast. And you look at the departure from normal rainfall from year to date, and notice San Antonio is close to 20 inches below average. That's an incredible number. And as you look across the state, everyone except for El Paso is below average, but nothing like us. San Antonio really has been hit the hardest this year, or at least the San Antonio area, when it comes to lack of rainfall. Waco follows behind with a deficit of nearly 16 inches, but again, nothing like what we're seeing here. And it's been a tough year. There's no other way to put it. As we go outside for you, we've got some thin high clouds working across the sky, getting made for a great sunrise this morning. 41 degrees at the airport, 43 Stinson, 42 Kelly, 41 over there at Randolph, and still looking at a northerly wind. So there is still a wind chill. Feels like 36 at the airport, feels like 34 in Bulverde, feels like 39 in Bandera when you factor in that wind. So it is it's still chilly out there. In the forecast temperatures today, it'll be a slow warm up, but we'll get there. 57 degrees by 4 o'clock later today. Places to the south of San Antonio could get as warm as 60 degrees. If you're to the north of town, more on the order of low 50s. And then tonight, we see those temperatures dip back down into the 30s, so it's another chilly start on your Wednesday. A lot of places will be in the 30s. As we look at the satellite picture here, these thin high clouds will continue to work across the sky today, but they're not going to do a lot for the forecast. We'll still see some blue sky in between that, and really all in all, a pretty nice late fall day. As we look at the big picture here, that storm system that came through yesterday, now creating a lot of weather across the eastern half of the country. So a lot of snow from Chicago to Milwaukee over to Minneapolis, Detroit down to Cincinnati, and then you got rain, Atlanta over towards the Carolinas, and that'll cause a mess up across the Northeast here next couple of days. But behind that, there's not much there, and basically what we're going to see is just some reinforcing shots of cool, dry air, and that keeps things pretty chilly all the way through the weekend, and really even into next week. It's not just us. I mean, much of the country is dealing with the cooler than average weather. So the high temperatures this week stay in the 50s. That's well below average. Our average is around 70 or so. And you see Saturday there potentially staying in the 40s, depending on the cloud cover. So it's a chilly stretch here. Here's how I think rain chances play out, and it's not great. So our risk of falling back into the driest year on record seems like a pretty good bet. Maybe a few sprinkles on Thursday, and then some light showers Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if that. I don't know that we're going to see a lot, but we will see quite a bit of cloud cover on Saturday, and that will, as I said, keep temperatures down. It's a chilly forecast, just not a lot of rain there to be had, guys.
All right, maybe next time. Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
While some are enjoying the cooler weather, that's not the case for everyone.
Nonprofits that help the homeless and needing families in our community are stocking up on warm clothing, hats, and coats.
If you have gently used winter clothing, agencies like Corazon San Antonio, Haven for Hope, and SAM Ministries can put them to good use. Haven for Hope encourages people to host their own small-scale winter donation drives in their own communities or churches.
People like to give this time of year, and so we do receive a lot of donations, and we're grateful for it, but the need is there beyond the holidays into January, February, and March.
So later today, more than half a dozen local nonprofits will join forces with the city to launch Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. It's meant to help bring food and comfort to the most in need in our community.
Time now is 9:20, and we're at 42 degrees for now.
With all the layoffs at Twitter, Meta, and now Amazon, some of the biggest names in the Silicon Valley may be in for a bumpy road ahead. What experts are saying about the recent situations these companies are dealing with.
And welcome back. It's 9:24. It's been a rough few months for some of the biggest names in Silicon Valley.
So rough, Forbes might need to keep revising its list of the world's richest people.
CNN's Amy Kiley looks at who might be slipping.
We're seeing literally the unfolding or the implosion of an individual here.
Some U.S. tech titans could be moving down the world's richest people list. Elon Musk holds the top spot on the Forbes ranking. He's expected to testify in court this week about his Tesla compensation package. It's worth more than $50 billion, and a shareholder is suing over it. On top of that, Musk says Twitter could go bankrupt, and it might face other threats, according to this analyst.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see the site go down in the next week.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is the world's fourth richest person.
We're building the capacity to be able to give away this money.
Just yesterday, he said he'd donate most of his wealth during his lifetime. He stepped down as Amazon CEO last year and now leads the Bezos Earth Fund.
It's a 10-year commitment to work on these really big problems that we have on sustainability and conservation and restoration.
Finally, last month, Meta reported a 50% drop in its quarterly profits. Forbes reported in September Mark Zuckerberg fell off its list of the 10 richest people in the U.S., let alone the world. All three men predict tougher times ahead for the economy.
If we're not in a recession right now, we're likely to be in one very soon.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Meanwhile, the companies and the three men founded are laying off thousands of employees, and most of them don't have spare billions to fall back on.
And time now is 9:25 and 42 degrees. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a look at last night's Spurs game against the Warriors. Ooh, it's a rough one. David and RJ going to break down those highlights when we come back.
Plus, the latest on City Council's decision regarding District 10 Councilman Councilman Perry after his alleged involvement in a hit and run.
All right, we're going to take a look outside with live cam. What you're looking at is that crane is waiting for the Christmas tree to arrive at Travis Park, coming all the way from Oregon.
That's right. It's nearly 50 foot tall. It'll be decorated with 10,000 white lights and dozens of colorful ornaments. The 38th annual HEB tree lighting celebration will take place the day after Thanksgiving on November 25th at 3 p.m. and probably expecting a lot of people. Looks nice out there. It would be, pleasant if it happened with these kinds of temperatures.
I know everyone says it, but it just does not feel like Christmas yet. This year is just warp speed flying by.
Yes.
But cool to see that that's underway. And yeah, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving. So what does the Thanksgiving forecast look like? If we're looking into next week, and it's a little too early to get into specifics, it looks like it's going to be generally pretty cool, kind of what we're seeing this week. So with that in mind, let me show you this picture in our KSAT Connect. That's whomever sent this in. It says they're Beanie Weenie Oliver. So very cute. The hat is perfect. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. It's good looking pup. We appreciate it as always. And as we look at temperatures across the state, 41 in San Antonio right now, 30s Amarillo, Lubbock, 33 right now, Wichita Falls. This chilly air has really kind of taken over the country, with the exception being Florida. It's 84 in Miami. That's the warm spot. Everyone else is pretty cool. 47 Raleigh, 26 Omaha, 31 Minneapolis, 14 Bismarck. This cool air is kind of here to stay, at least for the next 5 days or so, and that includes here in South Texas. So our forecast today, 52 noontime. We're up around 57 for a high. Mostly sunny this afternoon, just some thin high clouds working through. And winds could be a little breezy from time to time, but certainly not as strong as it was last night. All right, guys.
All right, taking a look outside with TransGuide. This is that crash backup that RJ was talking about earlier. Look right there, Loop 1604 at Kyle Siegel. And this is the westbound lanes. I mean, traffic's not even moving. I think that was the same police cruiser that we showed earlier. Earlier, RJ said it was a 25-minute backup. This actually might be a 30-minute backup now.
Yeah, it's backed up all the way now to La Cantera, past La Cantera. So it's pretty significant. 25, 30-minute backup right now, 1604 Kyle Siegel Parkway. So careful if you're headed out there.
Gridlock traffic there. Thank you, RJ.
And top stories, we're continuing to follow the latest on District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry.
After City Council passed a no confidence vote and granted Perry a sabbatical, they are now in the process of appointing a temporary replacement while Perry is gone.
Many council members supported Perry's step towards getting help, but as John Paul Barajas reports, the council's response isn't sitting well with everyone.
He fled the scene of a traffic accident where most likely he was intoxicated. Had it been just a regular citizen, they would have come down, with a sledgehammer on that person for drunk driving. So why should he get a pass or compassion for his actions? Somebody could have died in that accident.
Compassion is what District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry asked for after he took, quote, full responsibility and apologized for his actions November 6th. Perry says he will seek medical attention, such as possibly rehab. City Council granted him a sabbatical for that, but residents weren't as forgiving for the elected official.
Someone like I did that, and someone like me did that, even you. I'm done. I'm not getting out.
A vote of no confidence against Perry received unanimous support from City Council, except Perry and Mario Bravo, who abstained from voting. But it came only after most of Council voted to remove language in its resolution that would have asked Perry to resign.
I'm taking him at his word today that he is sorry, that he needs this help, doesn't seek the medical and rehabilitation services that he knows he needs. That's on him.
Elias says if Perry doesn't seek the help he said he would, the request for resignation could be revisited. District 3 Councilwoman Phyllis Villagran says as the legal process plays out, things can also change. For example, if Perry is charged and convicted of a DWI.
The charter states, and you can talk to our KSAT attorney, that he wouldn't be able to, if he's charged and convicted, he cannot serve.
And that was John Paul Barajas reporting. So San Antonio police say that they would file a DWI charge against Perry, but the district attorney's office says that hasn't happened yet. Right now, Perry is only charged with failure to stop and provide information after a crash, which is a Class B misdemeanor. If convicted on that charge, he would face up to 180 days in jail and a $2,000 fine.
The Uvalde CISD Moving Forward Foundation and the Community Advisory Committee hosted a community meeting to showcase work they have done on designing a new elementary school. Conceptual designs for the new elementary school were shown, as well as a breakdown of the number of classrooms and safety accommodations. The foundation and committee also agreed on a location for the new school near Dalton Elementary. Fundraising efforts to raise an estimated $50 million are underway. So far, the foundation has raised $18 million. While construction is a way off, community members feel this is a step in the right direction.
I think that things are finally coming together, and it does look like the input has been really positive.
The next step is for the foundation and committee to present this to the school board at their Wednesday meeting. They will vote on site selection for the campus and the conceptual design. The hope is to have the school ready by October of 2024.
Well, November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and San Antonio is in the crosshairs of one of the largest epidemics in human history. So more than 7 million of the 37 million people in the U.S. who have diabetes must get an insulin shot every day. But as Ursula Perry reports, a breakthrough may soon simplify their lives.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, when you need insulin, it's tough.
If you went somewhere, you had to take your glucose monitoring kit with you.
48-year-old Chris Sheridan was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 20 years ago. He's been checking his glucose levels every day for years now.
I wanted to give myself a shot every day.
Chris had to remember to take his insulin while working on his Jeep, and then making sure he has it when he's in the middle of nowhere. Then Chris was offered to be a part of a clinical trial that would allow him to only take one insulin shot per week.
It is taking the same molecule of insulin, a human insulin, a synthetic human insulin, but it's been altered a little bit and allows it to last longer in the body and get taken up a little bit slower.
Scripps endocrinologist Athena Phyllis Samikas is part of the new team leading an international study comparing the new once-weekly shot to the daily insulin shot.
There was not only equal lowering of the blood sugar to an equivalent amount between the two groups, but there was actually greater lowering, better blood glucose control.
This one shot may give millions of people new hope in the new year.
They're going from having to take 365 injections a year to only 52 times a year.
A company in Denmark is who created this once-weekly insulin shot. It's planning to get some approvals to get it on the market in Europe, China, and the United States, which means by mid-2023, it should be at your doctor's office. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
And our San Antonio Spurs started a 5-game road trip, and things did not go so well.
No, it didn't. The Silver and Black lose big to Golden State Warriors. David and RJ back with more on this one. Hey, guys.
Was that a real game?
I think it was a real game. I couldn't stay up for the whole thing, but after seeing the final score, it was not pretty there.
Halftime was good enough, I think. After that, it got real bad.
Yeah, third quarter, things absolutely got away from the Spurs. I think they were outscored 38-23, if I'm not mistaken, third quarter. Yeah. It was not
Let's see,
there.
it was 38-23 in the third quarter.
There you go.
When your high scorers only got 15 and their high scorers got 36.
Not good.
And when you shoot 10 of 40 from three-point range and they shoot 23 of 45 from three-point range, so what is that?
Not
3
good.
times 23 is 69, if my math is correct. 69 points off of three-pointers.
Look at that one right there, Jordan Poole. David, interesting thing here was Trey Jones was ruled out of this game. He had an illness. So Pop starts Jeremy Sohan, the rookie out of Baylor, as a point forward position. He ended up with 0 assists. So another not good. If your point guard, designated point guard, ends with 0 assists, and I think they had a season low assist this game, 18 assists.
They only had 18,
They're averaging about 30 per game. So
here's the amazing thing. So in their starting lineup, the official starting lineup has Sohan as a forward.
Yeah.
Bates Diop as the small forward.
Yeah.
Keldon Johnson as the small forward. And then you got Jakob Poeltl as a center. And then you got Devin Vassell as the scoring guard. So you don't have officially there's not even a point guard listed on in the starting 5. So that's just the scoring sheet that came out. So it was like, okay, well. All right,
this is going to be an issue for them throughout the season, especially if Trey Jones has to miss any games. They're really, really going to miss because obviously the Josh Primo thing happened. Now, no Trey Jones of this one, so really, really hurting on that.
So do you look for a trade eventually to try to find a point guard, or you don't want to trade anybody because you're, tanking
your team
the season?
Yeah,
you know,
team tank right now.
Yeah, so,
at this point.
I mean, it's funny how it's like not noticeable, but it's noticeable that they're losing these games. Devin Vassell sits out, and these guys sit out. It's not like, hey, we're going out, and we're going to blow this season. It's like, little subtle things here and there.
It was not pretty. But we will be back on the court tonight. Spurs taking on the Portland Trailblazers on the second night of a back-to-back. Portland right now 9-4, number 1 in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
A bit of a surprise there.
That's going to be another tough one. And then what they do? They got Sacramento, and then they got both the LA teams. Hey, all right. So want something positive? Want something fun to do today? Looking for something exciting today? Head down to the Artemis River Theater and celebrate with San Antonio FC.
All right, yes, the San Antonio FC, they have won the USL Championship, and they're going to be hanging out at the Arneson River Theater. I just went on their Instagram page right now, and it said that they will actually get there closer to 6 to give people a little bit more time to get out there. Maybe people get out from work, some of their soccer fans that want to go celebrate with the champs. There you go, David.
So, there's plenty of room down there in the Arneson, and you can line the river. Celebrate, that'd be good.
That's
good for them.
So they're not going to be in a bar? They're just going to be hanging out?
Sounds like they're going to be on the stage.
Yeah, I think they're just going to be on the stage. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think they're going to do the whole Riverwalk parade the way they would do the Spurs, but still a big honor there for San Antonio FC.
Congratulations, for sure.
Something to celebrate.
Yeah,
they finished the fight. Yes.
We need that today.
Thank you, RJ. Thank you, David. It is 9:40 and 43 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. It's 9:44. NASA is moving forward with the Artemis 1 moon mission after the rocket was recently plagued with leaks and damage from Hurricane Nicole.
CNN's Linda Kincaid reports liftoff is now set for the early morning hours of tomorrow.
NASA says it's on track for the Artemis 1 mission to launch Wednesday. That could pave the way for U.S. astronauts to return to the moon. The launch of NASA's most powerful rocket ever, which is carrying the uncrewed Orion spacecraft, is targeting a 2-hour window for liftoff, beginning at 1:04 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday. That's if all goes to plan. Previous launches have been scrubbed because of bad weather and technical issues.
Launch Director Charlie Blackwell-Thompson has called a scrub.
NASA says the mission is still ready to go, even though the mega rocket sustained some minor damage after Hurricane Nicole swept across Florida last week. Artemis 1 was already on the launch pad when the storm unexpectedly strengthened. NASA says it was designed to withstand high winds and needed minimal repairs, but the launch date was pushed back by 2 days. It's the latest in a series of delays for the Artemis 1 launch, which was initially set for late August. The first 2 attempts were scrapped after issues with a fuel leak.
The team now going into the cutoff procedure after being unable to resolve a hydrogen leak.
The third scuttled by the threat of an earlier hurricane, which had forced NASA to roll the rocket back to the hangar for safety. If and when Artemis gets off the ground, it has some lofty goals. The first mission is expected to be a 25-day journey to the moon's orbit and back. Artemis 2 repeats the trip, including astronauts and a lunar flyby. Artemis 3 plans to put astronauts back on the moon's surface. Linda Kincaid, CNN.
Justin.
Hey.
Just like
You guys got nothing to say about Artemis?
I mean, this is like the 4th time?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I just feel like we get excited and...
Yeah, we'll have to wait. But I'd rather everything be in order.
Yes.
And the weather good for, for that.
Hopefully it only works out. The hurricane didn't help at all. We need to talk a little bit about freeze and when we see our first freeze here in San Antonio. On average, it's anywhere from November 28th to December 4th. These are rough numbers. I will say northern parts of Barry County probably did see a freeze a couple nights ago. It was a very close call. Certainly in the hill country, we got down to freezing. And that's right about on average when you're talking about timing. They're November 7th to November 13th, or perhaps a little bit earlier as you get up towards Lake and Kerrville. So everything's been kind of happening, I'd say, on schedule. We'll see if we have any freezing temperatures here in San Antonio. I'll tell you, there's nothing in the 7-day forecast that would indicate us getting down to freezing here in town over the next 7 days. And then as you go further south, it takes just a little bit longer. Some of our southern counties, same boat as San Antonio, November 28th to December 4th. And our earliest freeze, by the way, if you were curious, October 30th, 1917. We've been talking a lot about 1917. That was a rough year. Not only one of the driest years, but also saw our earliest freeze. Right now, we'll go outside for you. We've got some high clouds moving across the sky. Temperature is at 41 degrees. Dew point is at 29, so that number is very low. North-northeasterly winds at about 8 miles per hour. And we still got a feels like number 36. So when you factor in that slight northerly breeze, that's what it feels like. 32 Kerrville, 33 the current wind chill in Fredericksburg. These wind chills will start to get a little bit better in the coming hours as temperatures warm pretty rapidly. 36 Boulevardy, 34 is what it feels like right now in New Braunfels. In the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 48 by 11 o'clock, 52 noontime, and we top out close to 57. So not a warm day, not bad. We'll see plenty of sun during the afternoon. You'll just have those passing high clouds from time to time, filtered sun from time to time, and then maybe a little bit more cloud cover building in tonight. 49 degrees at 8 o'clock, 46 at 9 p.m. And there's a look at some of those clouds working their way through west to east across the area. Thicker clouds out across East Texas, but I think we'll see plenty of sun today as well. All the really thick cloud cover is out east with that storm system that came through yesterday. So there's snow and rain and a lot of snow actually up across parts of the Great Lakes, Milwaukee and Chicago. Snow was flying this morning. Same for Detroit and even a few flakes around Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and even as far south as Cincinnati. So it's going to be problematic up there as far as travel goes. We'll continue to get some cool and dry air filtering in here. Some reinforcing shots, one kind of Wednesday, another one Friday into Saturday. And that keeps the forecast on the chilly side. Unfortunately, it doesn't really give us a lot of opportunity for rain because the air is so dry at the surface. Any disturbances we have moving over top of us, they're not going to produce much rain. So temperatures this week, 55 tomorrow, 58 Thursday, 59 Friday, 49 Saturday, 54 Sunday, and 58 Monday. That's fairly chilly and well below average for an extended period of time. A few sprinkles are possible Thursday. We may see some light showers Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but nothing that jumps off the page, and certainly nothing that's going to add up to a lot of rain. And I know a lot of people have been asking about next week. We still don't have a clear picture yet. Maybe some showers coming up just before Thanksgiving. We think it will be a little cool headed towards Thanksgiving as well. But as we get closer, we'll have a better idea of how it shakes out, guys.
Have you put up your Christmas decorations, Justin?
No. Not even close.
I'm with you.
I mean, I haven't either. My neighbors did. They did a phenomenal job, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do it. And I only have today and tomorrow before the weather gets wet and chilly.
You can wait till after
You're fine.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I gotta get them up before. Gotta get them before Thanksgiving. It's a rule.
Okay. You can do it.
Okay.
You say so.
Justin's like, yeah, not happening. 9:50 and 43 degrees.
And when we come back, a look at the finalists on Dancing with the Stars and the big surprise from one of the judges. And welcome back. It's 9:53. So season 31 of Dancing with the Stars is now down to the entertainer, the bachelorette, the TikTok star, and the drag queen.
ABC's George Pinocchio has a recap from last night's show and a surprising announcement from one of the judges.
Making it this far was just incredible, and everything else was just gravy.
Actor Trevor Donovan thought he'd be the first star to go. Instead, he and Emma Slater made it all the way to the semifinals. Monday's double elimination also included actor Daniel Durant and partner Britt Stewart.
She's born and raised to dance, and she learned ASL from me, and just connecting with me, she changed my life.
We got two surprises during the show. Pro dancer Whitney Carson, pregnant with her second child, and this shocker from head judge Len Goodman.
This will be my last season judging on Dancing with the Stars.
You know, it's a chapter closing, it's an era kind of coming to an end, and yeah, he's going to be missed.
Bachelorette Gabby Windy and partner Val Shmerkovsky danced their way to two perfect scores. What will they bring to the ballroom for the finals?
Sexy, strong,
soft,
and theatrical.
We're leaning into the drama. How appropriate.
TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio and partner Mark Ballas also danced into the finals with all 10s from the judges.
I mean, I owe pretty much all of this to Mark, even the things within myself that have grown and changed, and I mean, that's thanks to him, you know, helping me find that.
Also going for that mirror ball trophy, entertainer Wayne Brady.
Let's just have fun, and that's our mandate. The company mandate is have a blast, because if you have a blast, the audience has a blast with you.
And drag queen Shangela.
This is the place they ain't never seen nothing like what we gonna bring, baby. Trust me. And listen, we're in the top 4. We want that #1 spot, and now it's time to give everything we got.
We'll find out which one of the 4 final teams takes home that mirror ball trophy next Monday night. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
All right, temperatures have made their way up to 45 degrees now. Still a little chilly out there. Eventually 57 this afternoon, partly cloudy, 55 tomorrow. Maybe a bit more cloud cover Thursday and Friday. Some very, very small chances of rain, but nothing that's going to add up to anything that's going to help our drought situation, that's for sure. We'll be chilly this weekend, though. Just a heads up, 49 is what we're forecasting right now on Saturday.
Well, nice and cold. It feels like November for the fans of the cold weather.
There is that. I'm ready for the 80s to get back.
I don't know.
Uh-oh, you might get your wish
Wear
on
a hat,
Thanksgiving.
overcoat.
Yeah.
Stay warm.
Have a good day. We'll see y'all later at noon.